Hello there. I'd like to do something I've never done before, which is make a Thanksgiving video for all of my students. It never would have occurred to me without this equipment, but it maybe can be a tradition that I do year after year for however long I get to do this nearly sacred work. I'd like to offer you some thanks, a Thanksgiving poem, and have my first ever cooking show. Never done that before, and I'm a super good cook, so I'm going to give you some advice for your Thanksgiving meal. I'm standing on the shores of Pitts Lake, which is the lake that is on the north part of this farm. It's northern border. My lake flows into it. My lake is deep and small, and this lake is large and shallow, only about 25 feet deep. And from my heart, I just want to thank all of you for being my students, for putting up with me, and for the love and patience and wonder that you have brought into my life since the beginning of this strange and yet wonderful school year. Teachers don't often, it doesn't occur to us too often, or often enough, to say, thank you for being my students, how much I enjoy your vivid companionship. We just don't, so maybe I can act as an agent on behalf of all of your teachers and just let you know how important you are to me. It's drizzling a little bit on this late November day, and I probably better get this expensive stuff out of the wet. All right, we are now on my front porch, which is a little cozier. Free advice, I'm full of it. You all know that. When you build your house someday, all you very young, make sure you got a big front porch. Like, the bigger the better. 6 feet, 8 feet wide is not enough. Go at least 10 feet, okay? This baby is 10 by 28, and it's one of my favorite places in the world, and it looks out on a peat bog that on good days feels infinite to me. Sorry for the annoying sound of those birds. I got feeders up always, and I make sure that they're fed. So here's my Thanksgiving poem for you. It comes from William Merwin and his book Migrations. And as you see me hold this book, it's falling apart. It's got a glued binding, and I have two copies of this. This is what I call the working copy, and the one that I never touch is the one he signed for me in 2006 when I hosted him. You know, I'm so thankful for indexes in the back of poetry books, because it helps me look for poems that I'm on the hunt for, so I can read them all day and think about them. But when I went to look for the poem Thanks, it wasn't in the index. I'm like, what is going on? I know this poem is in this book. Well, it was a printer's error. It is in this book, and that's why I am thankful for tables of contents. So let me read this poem to you, and then let's have our cooking portion of our little vid here. William Merwin, Thanks. Listen, with the night falling, we are saying thank you. We are stopping on the bridges to bow from the railings. We are running out of the glass rooms, and with our mouths full of food, to look at the sky and say thank you. We are standing by the water, thanking it, standing by the windows, looking out in our directions. Back from a series of hospitals, back from a mugging. After funerals, we are saying thank you. After the news of the dead, whether or not we knew them, we are saying thank you. Over telephones, we are saying thank you. In doorways and in the backs of cars and in elevators, remembering wars and the police at the door and the beatings on stairs, we are saying thank you. In the banks, we are saying thank you. In the faces of the officials and the rich and of all who will never change, we go on saying thank you. Thank you. With the animals dying around us, taking our feelings, we are saying thank you. With the forests falling faster than the minutes of our lives, we are saying thank you. With the words going out like cells of a brain, with the cities growing over us, we are saying thank you, faster and faster. With nobody listening, we are saying thank you. Thank you, we are saying, and waving, dark though it is. All right. Well, we've arrived at the third segment of my little Thanksgiving class for you. And you are in my kitchen, which is a little bit tired. 23 years these cabinets have served us, and they are ready to be switched out and upgraded. This kitchen's going to have a redo next summer, thanks to overload credits from Riverland. One of the vivid pleasures of my life is cooking. We are a long way from English right now, but I just love cooking for people I love and making yummy stuff. And I'm pretty good at it. And I love vegetables, man. I love picking up onions and tomatoes. And I planted about 150 cloves of garlic in my box gardens down by the lake this year, so I will probably have enough garlic for a while. And let me just do kind of a rig rundown here and tell you what I'm doing. It's up to you. You know, it's America. You can do whatever you want. But all you young people, here's something you can't have in a classroom. Get yourself a really good chef's knife. You only need one. Get yourself a Wusthof 13-incher. These babies are almost $100, but they're just fantastic. And if you care for the knife, keep it out of the dishwasher, sharpen it once in a while. You'll have it all your days. So you need a good knife. Now, for all you moms, and for everybody, I'm gonna probably leave a few out here, but Sue Ellis, I'm thinking of you. I'm thinking of Katie Sumter, cooking for little Alice. I'm thinking of Valerie in southern Minnesota, cooking for little Pete, who I gave the dinosaurs to, and Desiree and Amy. And I know I'm leaving a few out, but here's what I think you should do. Take your turkey and spatchcock that thing. Now that sounds like an act of violence, and it actually kind of is. What you're going to do is you're going to take a really strong scissors or a kitchen shears, and you're going to, bit by bit, going both sides, not one side, you're going to cut the backbone out of that turkey. And I wanted to demo this, but my turkey's still kind of half frozen, and I put it in a cold bath all night long in a big pot on the front porch, and I hope it's thawed out by now. You can find this on the internet for how to do it. You're going to remove the backbone of that turkey, set it aside for the awesome soup you're going to make later. Then you take that turkey and you flip it over, and it's kind of like giving CPR. You're going to press it until you hear those bones crack and until that turkey is flattened out. Then let me tell you what you're going to do with that turkey. You are going to put it in a big 2-gallon bag, and you're going to brine it for 48 hours in buttermilk with a handful of salt. Buttermilk, flipping it every 4 or 5 hours if you think of it. And then when you take the turkey out of that bag, you don't want to rinse the buttermilk off, but using your fingers in the sink, just get as much of that off as you can. And then you're going to roast that thing flat. The cooking time will be reduced by half, but the major news is you're going to have way more of that awesome crispy skin, and the quality of the meat is going to blow you away. I want to see little Pete's face right now eating a piece of turkey that has been brined in that way. You'll never go back. There's no looking back. Every other method is pretty much the same, and I have tried them, so that's what I recommend. You gotta have vegetables for your turkey dinner, and what I'm going with is roasted Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna roast at a high temperature Brussels sprouts in olive oil, and then I'm gonna serve them with bacon from St. Joe Meats, crumbled bacon, lots of it. St. Joe Meats rivals Teelan's up in Pierce. It's not quite Teelan's, but it's close. And that's going to be one of the things I'm going to serve. I got strong opinions about potatoes. Don't go with russets. They're boring. Yeah, you can go with that golden Kodiak style potato, but if you're talking mashed potatoes, the most interesting kind of all, for me, are the red potatoes. Get the little ones. Get the little ones, cook them, and leave the skins on. Mash them up big time with a little bit of half and half, and then pour that dark turkey gravy over those. It's just gives you a finer mashed potato. I'm completely convinced. I'm also going to take some beautiful red pears. I should have those out on the counter. Got some beautiful pears that I'm going to slice up, and I'll roast those while we're having our Thanksgiving dinner out on the glass porch with the windows open and the stove on, trying to enjoy our company in the pandemic. And those roasted pears will be served with walnuts and some balsamic vinegar that I'm going to cook and reduce. I don't know how much. I'll take a couple of cups and then maybe a cup and a half, and then reduce that by maybe 30% until it starts getting syrupy. Here's the most important thing I want to tell you, all of you. Tomorrow, in the state of Minnesota, a culinary crime is going to be committed at a scale that's just massive, and it's heartbreaking to me. And you need to help me stop this. I love Minnesota culture, but sometimes you just have to push back against it just a little bit. And if I don't have any right now, because I'm not going to pull that stunt, but if I had a green bean in my hand right now, I'd hold it up and I'd say, what do you see when you see this? You'd say, that's a green bean. Well, when I hold up a green bean or several, I see dignity. okay? I see almost little souls. And that dignity is going to be just terribly violated tomorrow, because what Minnesota is going to do, what Minnesota grandmas are going to do, they're going to take perfectly good green beans, you know this, and they're going to boil the crap out of them, and then they're going to throw in a big can of Campbell's cream of mushroom soup, and on top of that concoction, we're going to put those dried onions. Don't do it. Or to be more specific, you mustn't let the grandmas do this in your life. Don't. Say, no, grandma. Do what is necessary to stop this from happening, okay? Now, on one end of it, maybe just a little diversionary tactic might be good. You could say, Grandma, there's a Hallmark Christmas show on. Would you like to come in and have some caviar and some aged cheese and some high-quality sourdough crackers? Grandma just might bite at that. She might just dither in there. Well, then, when she's not looking, she won't be able to do that. On the other end of it, you might have to tackle Grandma. Just shoestring tackle her. Say, no, Grandma, we are not doing this year to green beans. Believe me, it's a mistake. It's just a mistake. And proof of it will be, it's going to happen to half of you. Go in your fridge the next day and try out those green beans as leftovers. Put them in the microwave. Heat it up. A pile of them. What have you got? How about something less than nothing? Congratulations. You've got mush. It shouldn't happen. Take your green beans, braise them lightly. You can steam them, and then I would go with some Spanish olive oil. Drizzle over the top with a little bit of lemon, some salt, fresh cracked pepper, and maybe some lemon juice. Don't take it any further than that. It's just, this is the kind of stuff that just keeps me up at night. May God bless all of you, and may you and your Thanksgivings, family Thanksgiving, go just wonderfully, swimmingly, even if the green bean crime is enacted. God bless you guys.